Hey, welcome to Diggers Outdoors. What we're going to do today, since we're still working on the mountain bike, is we're going to do an easy project first before we tackle the tubes. We're going to install what's called a bottle cage. Now I've had this for years, just never got around to putting it on the bike. It's a it's a little Schwinn plastic bottle cage, and there's good and bad that comes with these things. The first thing I see people do before you even get into the good and bad is, see this little dome? Leave it on there because this thing's going to be getting mounted at, and where they mount on most other mountain bikes, your front tires will be throwing all kinds of mud and germs and all kinds of stuff on it. And what this does, this protects your mouthpiece. So you can keep that stuff off of where you're trying to drink from. And now the good and the bad. The good is, you can mount this thing on here. You know you can carry water. You can put ice water. I even seen some people put like iced tea in these things and all kinds of stuff. The bad part is I have to do a little bit of research, but I do not believe a filter top will work on this. And the reason I say a filter top is the other bad part of this is unless it's a bottle for a bike cage, most bottles are not going to work with this. My stainless steels won't work on this. And it's all because of see this indentation here and how this bends here on this metal. That's what holds it in. And once it's in pretty tight, but the problem is nothing else is going to work in there. And it's either going to flop around and come out, or you're going to bend the heck out of it trying to get it in there. Because this cage doesn't really have a lot of give to it. But I'm going to drag the chair over, try to find a decent spot to put it so I can put the camera on it, and we're going to put this cage on. And it's a very, very, very simple installation. Yeah, I'm pulling the chair over not for me to sit on, it's for me to set the camera on. Don't you love when people take stuff in one take? Make sure I got everything lined up. It's falling in here. Okay, because we're going to be putting that bottle cage right in here. There's a couple inserts in here already. I already ran the screws out, and the bottle cage will bolt right onto that with the bolts that came with the bike. I'm just going to do, it comes with a little bracket. I'm not going to use the bracket because I think the bracket itself is going to be a bracket actually inside the bottle. It's kind of over-engineered for this installation. It's actually an over-engineering. I think that's for if you don't have holes already in your bike, then you could put that on and then mount it up. This bike came with pre-inserted mounting holes for it, so we're going to go ahead and use those. And let's do this. And we're going to use the multi-tool to do this. Going to play with the multi-tool a little bit here first before we put it in the saddlebag. Okay, the first thing we want to do is figure out how we want to mount this. And I've seen a lot of people do a deal like this. They'll put it on, and see the problem with putting it on like this, even though it would work, it's upside down to be almost impossible to get out. So I'm going to mount this thing like this. That way I can just reach down while I'm riding, grab it, pull it out, slide it back in. I can go almost non-stop. So I'm going to dump the contents of what's inside of it out. Don't need it. So I'll pull the bottle out. Here's the bottle. Bottle coming out. Put the rack on. And what we do is I'm going to put these screws in, just to get them started in the inserts. Just enough so they hold. This way, while I'm putting it on, I can adjust it to wherever I want it. This bottom one's always going to be a pain. So I'm trying to work around a bunch of stuff. There we go, it's slid in. Okay, it's on there, it's loose. I mean, there's not too much adjustments, but up and down, and I think I'm going to let it ride as far up the tube as it can get, which isn't far, but it's better than nothing. I mean, because it won't go down very far, but I'm thinking up will probably be a little bit better. The more ground clearance I can give it, the better. I think the better it'll work. Let's see if I can get the tool in here. And the one thing with these tools is sometimes they'll work for stuff, sometimes they won't. It also helps if I get the right, there we go. I have to get the right size out. I thought I had the right size out. I did not. My bad. What I think I'm going to do before I even try to tighten it down with the tool is I'm going to try to get these things as tight as I can with my fingers first. It's like 2 bolts, not that hard of a deal. And I'm kind of working on an awkward position. If I was doing this without the camera, I'd be where the camera's at right now, putting this on. Okay, that one's not too bad. I can get into this one here. See, this is the fun part with gauges. And working from an odd angle. And trust me, this is a simple install. It's just, at the angle I'm working at, I just have to get used to, deal with it, and keep moving. There you go. Still a little bit looser than I thought it was. It helps if I turn it the right way. Oops. Keep on doing this till she stops. Same thing up here. There we go. Now I fought her bite. And one thing about this, you don't have to tighten the thing up like Magilla Gorilla. And I'll tell you what, I'm actually kind of impressed with this. The Allen keys, 9 times out of 10, if you use an Allen key on something, even the proper size fits loose. These things fit rather snug, so you got to rock them around a little bit to get them out. And this is already fairly tight. See if I can get into this one with it. Yeah, that one's going to be a little bit of a pain, even like this. Because like this, I'm not going to be able to get that good of. Oh yeah, maybe I can. There, that one's in. This is how the bottle goes in from down here, snaps into place, and we're done. Voila! Okay, and the reason I put that on there, most of you guys will probably might be running the hydration pack, which I may get and try later, or like maybe with like a Fast Scout pack like I have that has a bottle holder on it already. This is nothing more than another option to carry fluid with you. I mean, options are, especially in a survival situation or even just a mountain biking situation, options are good. The more options you have, you don't have to use them all, but the more options you have is you could make your trip on your bike or wherever you're going, if you're bugging out or if you're just riding a trail or if you're scouting an area, the more options you have, the more effectively you could use this piece of equipment. But I appreciate the views. I look forward to the comments, and I'll talk to y'all later.